Hey friends, welcome to week 2. I'm here in this video to share with you 2 adjustments to a few things we talked about last week. One is about our brake spot. I want to give a little bit of clarity on what the expectations are and how it's going to run. So watch that for updates and the expectations for that routine. And then also some updates and changes to our routines with our mask break zone. So continue watching to find out what's new. All right, first off, let's learn a little bit about our brake spot. I know we talked about it briefly, but we have a few new things that we need to keep in mind when we're taking a break in room 30 in Mr. Skoma's class. So as you can see, I'm over by the store, also near the area where you make your lunch choice and whatnot. And our break box is now going to live right on top of the store at all times. All the items are in here. So when you feel like you need a break, what you're gonna do is you're gonna walk up. If nobody else is in the break spot, you're gonna walk up, you're gonna come over, and you have to select 2 things. One thing is the timer. This is a 5-minute timer. So once you flip it over like this, boop, it will take 5 minutes and you'll have a 5-minute break. And once that 5 minutes is up, it's time for you to go back. Okay, so you need this first. And then you can select any one item you want. Not 2, not 3, 1. So if you don't like one time, just don't take it the next time. So you'll select one thing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the balancing bird this time, okay? I will then put this box back, the sensory bin back. I'll take my balancing bird and the timer, okay? The balancing bird is going to go with me. The timer is actually going to go up on top of the computer cart. I'll show you what I mean, so come along with me. So right here, Mr. Skoma does a lot of teaching, and this is kind of a high visible area. So when you're about to take a break and you have your 2 items, you're gonna take the timer and you're gonna flip it over on the computer card somewhere where it's very visible. And then, oh, Alexa's on. Alexa, off. And so the timer's going, and now I can go to the break spot. And as you can see the brake spot down there, I would climb down here, go into my brake spot, and I would spend some time really trying to clear my mind, to really put my focus on whatever it is I'm fidgeting with, so that I can stop worrying about all that's going on and reset and re-enter the classroom. So I'll stay down here for the 5 minutes of that timer, but I can't see the timer. So what's gonna happen is when Mr. Skoma notices that the timer is up, he is going to grab the timer, and let's pretend the timer's done. Let's pretend it's not, but let's pretend it is. And he is going to bring it over to, or I am going to bring it over to you and show you that it's empty. He's gonna leave that with you. I'm gonna leave that with you. And you need to immediately take your other items. So in this case, the balancing bird, which I don't know where I put it now, I'll find it. And the timer, and you're gonna go put it back in the sensory bin and return to learning. If you don't follow directions quickly, if you throw a fit about the time not being long enough, or you stay there after the timer for too long, what's gonna happen is Mr. Skoma, me, next time and every time after that until I can earn your trust again, you're not gonna get a 5-minute timer, you're gonna get the 2-minute timer, okay? So if you can honor the 5 minutes, you'll get the 5 minutes. If not, then you'll get a 2-minute timer each time until you have your trust back. So I'm heading back because I'm trying to keep Mr. Skoma's trust, and I'm bringing this back and this back And you can see I'm putting it in my bin. And then I'm going to return to my spot and listen to the lesson. So that's the expectation. That's what will happen if you want to continue using the break spot. Hopefully that's clear. All right, now it's time to learn about our mass break zones. All right, now for our mass break zones, a few updates. We all know wearing these masks isn't really fun. And it's nice to be able to take them off sometimes. And I want you to be able to take them off sometimes. But sometimes we get over there and we forget we're there for so long. Or maybe it feels so good to be there that we're unwilling to give it up. Or maybe we go to the spot because it's closer to a friend of ours that we want to chat with. Those all create issues. So, to solve some of those issues, here's what's going to happen. If there's a mass break area that is open, what you're going to do is you're going to grab a 5-minute timer. Not the one from the break bin, okay? The sensory bin. I actually ordered 8 more of these, so we'll have plenty of these, and they'll be setting out, and I'll show you where they are. But you're gonna grab a 5-minute timer. 5 minutes should be enough to take a break, and then you can reuse it at another time, okay? I also ordered a 10-minute timer. Once a day, you'll be able to take the 10-minute timer if you want a longer break and use it. But I'm gonna create a job where somebody has a list of each student each day, and they will have access to the 10-minute timer. And once you use it, they're gonna check off your name. And if you try to use it a second time, they're gonna look at their list and they're gonna be like, sorry, you already used it today, okay? So that's how we're gonna keep track of it. But let's say I need a break. I need to take a break from this mask. I'm sick of it. I am going to first go over to a sanitizing station, whether I have my own or if I wash my hands, because that's kind of a high traffic area. And I'm going to sanitize my hands, get them all nice and clean. Then I'm going to get one of the 5-minute timers or the 10-minute if it's that time that I want to use my 10 minutes. Then I'm going to go over to one of the mass break zones, and I'm going to set the timer. Now, how will Mr. Skoma know I'm not just going like this back and forth? Well, I can tell you what's going to happen is on each timer, I'm going to put a red dot on one side and a blue dot on the other side. So as I'm walking around, I'm going to kind of pay attention to what color is up while you're sitting there. And if while you're sitting there, I walk past again and now it's blue, I know something happened. I know somebody's not being so truthful. And that person may lose their right to go to one of these zones. So hopefully that won't happen, but that's how I'm going to try to prepare for it. So like I said, I'm coming over here and I flip it, and let's say it's on the red side, and I can sit here, take my mask off, so on and so forth. Now there's one more rule. Remember how we said that there's a good chance, well, maybe not a good chance, but there's a chance that my good buddy is sitting right in front of me here, or my friend is at the other one. I'm gonna be tempted to talk, right? So my rule for this area is if you're at one of the mask off zones, you can't talk at all. Zip, okay? It's quiet time. It's quiet time if you didn't hear that, okay? So if you talk while you're there, Mr. Skoma is going to take your timer right away and you're gonna go back to your home base, okay? That's what's going to happen. So don't get huffy and puffy. You know, if you talk, Mr. Skoma didn't make you talk. I can't make your mouth go up and down and your vocal cords vibrate. That was your choice, okay? So if you talk, you're risking losing the spot. And if you lose that because you talked, that's your fault. If you might say, but my neighbor was talking to me. Yeah, maybe they are, and they might lose that spot. And You just got to keep your mouth quiet, and maybe they'll have to go back. Well, what if my buddy's in front of me and they're at their home base and they're talking to me? Well, then maybe you better choose a different one of these mass break zones, right? Make sense? What if it's the only one open? Then you're gonna have to take a risk. Or wait for one of the other ones to open. Because remember, people won't be hanging out there that long because of the timer. After you're done, and the timer is up, you'll head back, you'll put the timer back where we decide the timers are gonna go. You're gonna sanitize your hands again. So let me go do that. Let's say the timer goes here. I go over here again, sanitize. And then I return to learning with my mask on. I should have put my mask on before I even left the zone though, right? Okay. One last thing that we have to say is there's been a lot of traffic over by the windows, by the fans, and that can't happen. That is a mask-free zone, and only the people that can be over there are the 4 people that are at one of those zones for those 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. If you go over there, we're gonna have to have some consequences. We can't be risking people's safety. Well, I hope these 2 new routines and ways of doing these things make things more clear so that you can know what to do, so that you can be successful, so that your classmates have opportunities, so Mr. Skolma's not nagging you all the time. Thank you so much for understanding and following these guidelines. Take care. Have a good rest of your day.